What life hacks have been exploited so much that they no longer work? Tricking parking garages. Used to be in the older days when you went into a pay parking garage. You got a ticket for your car. When you would leave, you put the ticket in the machine and it calculates how much you owe. They still do that. Thing is, in the olden days, you could simply walk by the gate, get a new ticket, and then walk to your car and drive out using the new ticket, and the system thought you were only in there for like 30 seconds. These days they put weight sensors under the ticket area so they won't dispense a ticket unless there is actually a car sitting on top of it. Plus edit plus. Okay, it's a magnetic sensor, not a weight sensor. Point still stands. There is a sensor there to stop that kind of thing now, and apparently the UK reads license plates now. I remember in the early days of eBay you could search for misspellings of items you were interested in, and most of the time you could get it for cheap. Once everyone caught onto this, it was game over, and now eBay has vastly improved search functionality. Still, I'll never forget that screaming deal I got on that vacuum cleaner. Edit, removed a word. Coupon code sites. Now they just link you to the sales already posted on websites. Looking up unknown phone numbers online to see who is calling you. Now all you get are pay to see sites. Pressing 0 on an automated phone tree to speak to a live person. I've encountered many that will just replay the menu options if you press 0. Being straightforward and asking to talk to the manager in order to get a job. That is not how it works anymore. The companies put your application through a computer, and if you don't set off too many of the algorithm's red flags, then a human will give you the time of day. After it went viral that the Toy Story characters would fall down on the ground at Disney World Land when you shouted, "Andy's coming," they stopped doing it. Thrift shopping. Back in college, we used to be able to go to a few local thrift stores, Goodwill, Salvation Army, etc., and find great deals. Allen Edmond dress shoes for $9.99. Gently worn dress shirts and pants for $3.05 each. Used to go probably 2x month and built up a pretty decent wardrobe for my internship's first job. Sometimes, we'd even find things with tags on them still. Now, after thrifting got popular, prices went up. Dress shoes are now around $15.20 and shirts pants are often $10.12 for questionable quality and often very dated styles. If you use coupons, you can often get better prices at Kohl's and other department stores than at thrift stores now. There was a gym by my university that was expensive, but since it was in Nicaragua was about the best one available at the time. I paid for the membership once, then realized they never checked your membership through the back door. Since the trainers all knew me by then, I stopped paying for the membership and just walked in through the back door and acted like I belonged. I did this for like 2 years before the place rebranded and changed ownership and added a check-in kiosk through the back door because I had shared my secret with a few too many people. But by then I had finished my career. A certain BBQ chain had a birthday club that would send you a free item via email. The email was a Word document that was easily changeable. So instead of winning a brownie, you could change it to a huge party platter, as long as you had the correct code. I just stopped in to claim this birthday thing. Oh, I won a party platter? Great. I'm going to a party. Edit. It was Famous Dave's. If watching The Incredibles 300 times with my child taught me anything, it's that when everyone's super evil Jason Lee laugh, no one will be. A college degree is an example of that. Calling the cable company to cancel to get a lower rate. It will still work, but you have to commit to cutting the cable. They used to fold at the mention of leaving. Attempting to dress nicely, ask nicely, give presents to flight attendants to get free upgrades on planes. Edit. Thanks you, it's Spacco. Talking to the manager was once an honest-hearted method of kindly discussing an advanced issue with someone in the chain of command who can make decisions. Now, it's just something that baby boomers immediately request when they want something. The coin drop game at Taco Bell. I was very good at it and usually got myself a 25-cent burrito. I haven't seen one of those games in many moons. Ordering free carpet samples on Amazon for cat-related crafts. Downloading a copy of college textbook. Damn, codes and CDS means you have to buy your own. Using coupons. They still save you money, but less than they used to, and it takes more work than it used to. Those couponing TV shows ruined it for everyone by making all the tricks and secrets way too public. Companies and stores are not in the business of losing money, and when it was a small number of people using coupons to an extreme amount, then it wasn't so bad for them. Now, a lot of people doing it make it that they start making coupons worth less and harder to use. Leaving the tailgate down on your truck when driving toll roads so the camera can't get a picture of your license plate. At least for the folks that only required one license plate on the rear of the vehicle. Now they have cameras at waist level to combat that issue. I'm calling corporate. From soccer mom to global domination and beyond. Our local pizza chain used to sell fundraiser stickers that let you do a buy one get one free deal. Everyone had one. But my dad soon found out that most of the restaurants never even asked for the sticker when you went to pick up your order. So he would always say to keep the sticker in your pocket unless they asked for it. Furthermore, if they did ask for the sticker, they never checked expiration date on them. We got so much free pizza that way. They have now switched to a loyalty card method that is required for checkout and expiration dates are stored in the computer. Coupons. Kroger quit doubling them a few years ago and Maya right after. That show helped. Enlarging the period font size in your papers for college. And maybe high school IDK. Approaching girls from out in left field in order to generate conversation. Those damn pickup kings made too many videos about just getting numbers. They play the numbers game and screw it up for anyone generally interested in a particular pretty girl. I'm half joking, I never have enough balls to approach a group of girls. Huh. Long ago in the US, filing for bankruptcy cleared student loan debt. This was since outlawed. Putting drugs up your ass when you cross the border because they won't check there. When Lyft was starting in my area, they did this promotion where when you signed up you received 50 free rides. Well, during this time I discovered the Google phone app where you could create a new phone number linked to a Gmail account. I ended up having like 200 free rides. I took them to work, to my girlfriend's house, grocery store, you name it. My car wasn't touched for a month because I didn't need it. After those 3-4 weeks, Lyft caught on and banned me and my credit cards from the app. I can't even hail a Lyft ride when I give someone else my card to put into their account. I had free HBO for a decade from Comcast. Used to call them and say I was going to cancel service unless they give me HBO free for 6 months. I did that for so long that the last time I called, the guy read a note that was added to my account saying I've been getting HBO for free since 2009 and that I should be transferred to the cancelling service folks if I ask for it again. Now I just watch HBO shows on 123 movies. The real LPT. If you have a life tip, consider how effective it would be if more people started using it before you tell people about it. When a bathroom has 3 cubicles, the middle one is likely the cleanest because fewer people are likely to use it. Pretty sure enough people have begun capitalizing on it such that it's likely to be as dirty as the others, if not dirtier. The vending machine in my apartment accepted dollar coins but would return it right back. So all I needed was a single coin and run it through the slot twice to get something and would also get the change back from my $2. Did this a few times a month to check it was still working broken. I ended up just leaving the change behind for someone else to use. The machine, and surprisingly, has been turned off and is no longer serviced. Edited to clarify sarcasm. Sneaking candy and soda into the movie theater. About 2 years ago my local theater decided that they wanted to hire the Tsar rejects to search for weapons. PFFFFFF. Feeding your homework to your dog. Using Dom for a free rental at Redbox. Sorry, that was my friend lol. Using someone's first name several times after meeting them in conversation in order to get them to like and trust you more. It may now even have the opposite effect, Imo. Shopping at Trader Joe's on the weekdays. There were a lot of apps on the iOS store that had free features that Apple never included. There was a screen recorder, flashlight before Apple officially added the flashlight and the control panel, and even an app that did everything YouTube Red did, but it was free. Those were the days. Eventually they removed all of these things from the App Store and now you have to pay to get a tier version of what you had years before. If you were lucky enough to download the free apps before they were taken down from the store, you could still use them until an iOS update rendered them useless. I still use an ad blocker for the YouTube app that was removed a couple months ago. Works like a charm and has saved me 3.5 gigs of data. Duck you Apple, you greedy pieces of it. Anti-vaccination. I'm sure the first 2 or 3 families who went that route could have said, since everyone else on the block is vaccinated, herd immunity will protect us. But now that so many people are being stupid, herd immunity is being compromised in a lot of communities. Supposedly, Super Bowl Sunday used to be a great day to visit Disneyland. Now, it's one of the most crowded days in the off-season, though I'm fairly certain that Disney created, or at the very least, published the Super Bowl myth to attract more crowds. Buying the original iPhone and activating the default contract which gave unlimited data, and keep it as a grandfather contract. We were at the mall. We're sitting next to a group teens who I guess learned about the no salt on the fries thing so you get fresh ones. A girl had to wait for a new batch of fries while her friends were eating because she insisted on having no salt. As she waited, I sat and watched her pick out her friend's salted fries because they were fresh. Super couponers. If you consider their practice a life hack, my stepmother is one. Nowhere near TV level, but once those TV shows came out, all the companies that put out coupons rolled back on giving them out and made them super specific. You can only have a 6 with a woman on top and not get her pregnant so many times. Eventually gravity switches the polarity and the sperm fly up, which they're not supposed to do, and she can't totes get preggers bruh. Collect calling someone but simply recording a message instead of having them accept the call. You have a collect call from, yo dude, come to Mike's house. Part I do you accept these charges? Click. Getting seasonal candy for cheap after a holiday. Begging for money with signs that say I'm too ugly to strip or I need money for booze and drugs. That never rubbed me the right way and it seems friends are starting to feel the same way. This was a specific life hack but it worked damn well. In college, many assignments were to be submitted online by a certain time, usually 12 AM midnight. The website would think you submitted the assignment when you first click the choose file button. This button opens up a folder that shows the files on your computer. You find your file, click OK, then it is submitted. If you click choose file button at say 11:50 PM, as long as you didn't close it, you could actually upload the file the next day or several days later, and it'd still think it was uploaded at 11:50 PM. I turned in many assignments on time even though I finished them well after they were due. Professors were confused as to why my assignment wouldn't show up for a day or two. Then magically it'd show up and this happened for many assignments. I just blamed it on the school's internet is slow, I guess. Lol. They finally fixed it near the end of the year. 14-point commas. I've had multiple teachers and professors tell me they'll check from day one. A few years back if you left a cell phone charger at a hotel you could go to the front desk and ask to see their box of lost and found chargers. I lost a cell phone charger in my room when I was here last time. Some hotels would bring out a box and you could go through it. Now, they all know that it's a profit center and high margin so they sell cell phone chargers in the gift shop. And the box of free chargers is usually gone. Used free phone number apps and referred to myself for getting free referral rides on Uber. Very useful when riding in a new city for travel. The old my dog is a service dog bullet. People in Los Angeles abuse this privilege especially because everyone here owns a dog. Now, businesses are quick to ask if it's ADA or emotional support, one of which is not allowed in certain spaces. Understanding how to write up a resume so it would hit enough keywords to get past a computer and into a person's hands. Now you need to do this just to get into the large pile of resumes to be mined by computer. This wasn't even that long ago, but using Google Maps to find alternate routes to avoid giant traffic jams on highways. Nowadays because everyone has a smartphone and is using Google Maps, even the alternate routes quickly become congested as well. I used to smile with glee as I got on the exit ramp and didn't see any cars following me. Now I barely even bother taking the alternate routes. Why trade one traffic jam for another? Applying to a ton of random scholarships that nobody else even applies to. Only need a handful of people, even at the local level, to take this advice, and suddenly there's real competition. And with sites like CapEx and FastWeb, there's more than a handful of people applying to every scholarship in the country. Thrift shops and second-hand clothing stores to find cheap, yet decent clothes. It became the popular thing to do for people with money, for some stupid reason. Anything being called a cheap cut of meat. I miss the days of $2.50 lb skirt steak. Now it's the same price as NY strip. The more clueless food bloggers out there, i.e. people who don't cook dart but still write about cooking somehow, still push skirt and flank steak as cheap cuts of meat. In the good old days of the early internet, you could hack porn sites by just putting members gallery 1 or something along those lines after the web address, because why pay for porn on the internet? When I was in college, they had these deals where if you signed up for a trial Netflix account you could get a $10 gift code for Papa John's. I would use various email addresses to create new trials and would get the codes every time. Not only did I get free Netflix for a while, but I also got free pizza. Not sure if it counts, but using a VPN on Netflix. I used to watch Parks and Rec on Irish Netflix using a VPN. When Netflix copped on and wouldn't let you stream anymore, I got so pissed off I still haven't finished the series. Getting a change of address packet from the post office for the 10% off Lowe's coupon. I picked one up last week and the coupon is now only good for window shades and blinds. I'm guessing they caught on. Grubhub used to, still has, codes for $10 off your first order of $15 or more. So me and my roommate would get 2 huge double cheeseburgers and fries from this local burger joint for takeout and pay just $3 each after tax. Sometimes we would get a family meal from a Chinese place for the same price. This one sushi place had a special 4-roll for $15 for lunch, and I could get stuffed on sushi for $6. It was a win as the restaurant still got paid full price for the meal. Grubhub took the $10 hit, and we ordered from them almost daily, so they got lots of business from us. You can get these codes at some restaurants, or if you create an account and don't place an order they eventually email you one. To prevent this, they started to not let you use it if they linked your phone number to a different account. So we just used random numbers as they never needed to call us. Then they changed it so they tracked what PayPal account and credit card you paid with. And that put an end to that. Using your student ID long after you're no longer a student to get discounts on things. Maybe it's just where I was living at the time, but it went from no one checked that your ID was actually valid. They just required a quick flash of it for proof, to everyone checked every time real quick. I had a student ID with no end date for a while, even that got turned away eventually. In Australia there's a promo app for our version of Burger King, called Hungry Jack's. The app is called Shake and Win. And when your GPS puts you within a certain radius of a HJ store, you can shake the phone to receive a freebie. It's a random freebie, and some of them are just worthless discounts. But there were a few that actually gave you free food, including the rare grand prize, a free Whopper burger. When the app first came out, the only restrictions were 1 shake per store per day. It didn't take long for me and a group of friends to start GPS spoofing our phones to visit dozens of stores around Australia. We would sit in the dining room with our phones out shaking until someone got a free food prize, then go up and claim it and pool the food together. We did this for months before they caught on and restricted it to 1 shake per day total. Eventually they even removed most of the free food prizes. And now the app is worthless. When you forget someone's name and you ask what's your name, and they tell you, albeit a little disappointed, and you respond with, no, your last name. Yeah, that app doesn't work anymore. Just own up and say you forgot their damn name. I saw one ages ago that said ask for no salt on your fries at McDonald's to get fresher fries. The thing is, this doesn't work when it's busy, since the employees need to take extra time to set a fresh batch aside and hand scoop them into a fry box, which takes much longer. This means fries with no salt were generally less fresh. Also, if it wasn't busy, and there were no fries currently busy, it meant we had to put a whole fresh batch down and wait for them to fry, which took up to like 3 minutes. Not worth it in my opinion. Just get the fries as they come. They're all fresh anyways since we have to throw them out after a certain amount of time. Asking a professor for a better grade if I'm on the border. Everyone does it and I did it so much that I became notorious within my department as a student who always fought his grade. My wife is a teacher and gets that a lot. She's also as spiteful as duck bleeding heart. So she tends to round everyone up if they're really close anyway without them asking. But if they do ask her to round it up more, she'll just go over their grades with them, pretend to realize that she already gave them a better grade than they deserved, and undo the roundup. Upon entering a large public restroom, like at an airport, use the very first stall closest to the door, especially if it's right against the entrance. It's typically the least used because it's not in one's line of sight, thus, cleaner and less chance of running out of TP.